says they need a car, and he'll leave one at the grocery store. In order to give the others time to escape with the injured Danny, Lincoln gives them cover by firing his gun in the air, and the cops chase him. Lincoln loops around and makes it to the car, and they escape. Back at Sammy's bar, Sammy has counted the money, and it's over $2 million per split. He split it into takes for everyone. Obviously, Sal's cut is higher due to the money Sammy owed him. Sal walks in with an unknown gentleman who is there to collect Sal's cut. They drink to their success and their new wealth. But Sal shoots Georgie a look. Georgie tells Lincoln that he should have said yes to Sal's order to run the hollow, and without warning, Georgie shoots Lincoln in the head, but it doesn't kill him. He can only watch as Ellis, Danny and Sammy are brutally executed by Sal, Georgie and the other man. They then set fire to Sammy's bar and Lincoln passes out. He is pulled from the burning building by Father James, who takes him back to his house and nurses him back to health. Lincoln is in bad shape and almost doesn't make it. Truth is that after coming back from Vietnam, Lincoln wasn't even planning to stay in New Bordeaux at all. One of his friends from the army was going to get him a job at a shipyard. The only reason he went back to New Bordeaux was to tell them his plans, but he never got the chance. As Lincoln was getting better, he told Father James to call one of Lincoln's old friends from Vietnam, John Donovan. John Donovan was a Princeton graduate who was recruited by the Central Intelligence Agency as a paramilitary officer the following year. He worked alongside another CIA agent called Connor Aldridge on a mission to depose the elected president of Guatemala, Jacobo Arbenz, which effectively put an end to the 10-year Guatemalan Revolution in 1954. But this wasn't the last time Donovan would encounter Aldridge. Donovan was sent into Vietnam by the CIA to run covert operations against the Viet Cong in 1963. So was Aldridge. Aldridge's job was to infiltrate the North Vietnamese Army, the NVA, and turn soldiers into double agents. However, Aldridge got that incident but stayed in Vietnam on assignments. In 1966, during Lincoln's time in the 5th SFG, Donovan crossed paths with Lincoln, who demonstrated incredible combat abilities and fortitude in battle, along with Lincoln's desire to help his friends. The two would then become close friends whilst in Vietnam. But back to the story again. Lincoln is holding a photo of Sal Marcano, looking at it with anger burning in his eyes. Donovan says the plan is to kill Sal Marcano. Father James says, fine, kill him, but let that be the end of it. This angers him, because he knows along with Donovan. Father James at turning the other cheek simply doesn't work in the real world, and leaves with Donovan. On their drive over to Sammy's so Lincoln can pick up his things, Lincoln reveals that he thinks Marcano wanted Lincoln dead because he refused to run the hollow, and Sal wanted to sever ties with Sammy. They arrive at Sammy's and Donovan tells him to meet him at the motel down the road. Lincoln collects his things, freshens up a bit, and goes to the motel to meet with Donovan. Seems Donovan's been busy. He stole a load of surveillance equipment from the FBI to assist him in tracking and taking down Marcano's network. He set up a tax center. He explains that going after Marcano won't be easy. There are levels beneath Marcano who protect him, and those levels have people beneath them, and so on and so forth. Lincoln is going to have to take New Bordeaux by force, district by district, until Marcano's operation has been weakened enough to take him out. Donovan will be the brains of the operation, and Lincoln will be the brawn. Donovan hands Lincoln a clipboard with information regarding the Haitians. Lincoln is surprised, as he thought they'd fallen apart after he killed Bakker, but Donovan said they're back up and running, which is a good thing. See that after Sammy was gone, Sal Marcano gave the Delray Hollow to a gang called the Dixie Mafia, an all-white gang of southern criminals with roots stretching back to the Civil War. The Dixie Mafia are wanting to run a heroin racket in the Hollow, and are trying to get people in the Hollow hooked on it. This angered the Haitians greatly. The Haitian mob have a new leader, but they've kept their identity of the leader a secret. Hoping to find their leader, Lincoln interrogates a Haitian gang member, who tells him that their leader resides at a voodoo shop in the Hollow. Lincoln sits down and waits for their leader. She walks in. The Haitian boss is none other than the woman Lincoln saw at the Haitian camp. Her name is Cassandra. Lincoln tells Cassandra that he wants her to help him kill Sal Marcano. In exchange, Lincoln agrees to help them drive the Dixie Mafia out of the Hollow, and after they're gone, Lincoln will give the Haitians full control of the Delray Hollow. Cassandra tells him that the boss of the Dixie Mafia is a man named Richie Doucette, but it's personal for Cassandra. Richie Doucette killed her sister. Cassandra says it's too dangerous for Richie Doucette to be in the Hollow, so he moves around a lot, but they operate out of the old theatre, Hurlers, named after Sammy's late wife. One of Cassandra's men, known as The Voice, has been staking out the place, so Lincoln meets with him. He tells him that a member of the Dixie Mafia runs it, a guy named Merle Jackson, and he turned it into a brothel. Jackson's been getting young black women from the Hollow hooked on drugs and has been pimping them out, so Lincoln heads to Furler's. He frees the girls, doing some major damage to the Dixie Mafia's operation. Speaking to The Voice again, Lincoln learns that there are pimps in the Hollow. Lincoln kills the pimps, and just as they suspected, this draws Jackson out of hiding. Lincoln returns to the theatre and fights his way up to the office, confronting Merle Jackson, and kills him. He phones Cassandra and tells her to send her people to secure the theatre. After this, Lincoln meets with Donovan across from the old church. He tells Lincoln that that is where they are running their heroin operation out of. It's under the supervision of someone called Charlie Kincaid. After interrogating some of Charlie's dealers, destroying the heroin, killing enforcers, and infiltrating the church, Lincoln confronts Kincaid. Lincoln naturally recruits Charlie and phones Cassandra, telling her to send more men to take control of the church. He goes to see Cassandra, and it seems that she's been making moves herself. She has captured a Dixie Mafia informant named Jesse. They discover that due to Lincoln destroying the heroin racket and Richie losing control of the Hollow, Dorothy Marcano is furious with Richie and wants him dead. So Richie is preparing for a fight and took the rest of the heroin and some men and holed up in the old Baron Saturday amusement park. Lincoln goes to the park and wipes out one of Richie's men. You may recognize Richie. He is the one who accompanied Sal Marcano to Sammy's bar that night, and the man who killed Ellis. Lincoln drags Richie outside, and this happens.
I'm not here to do your hair. I'm here to make you pay what you need to send me down those box.
No matter what, ultimately, you should give a fuck to a certain extent, depending on how much you fuck with that person, or how much you feel like you should get out to the person. My daughter,
the thing about this person, Vanessa, is that I'll never know this person. The thing is, like, automatically with this time, alright, so if you actually she'll jump in front of a train to save my life, nigga, I feel like she'll do it. Nigga, I know she would literally damn near do it.
You see, Lincoln killed Richie in a very specific way. Due to Lincoln's time in Vietnam, he was trained in psychological warfare. He left Richie hanging from the Ferris wheel as a message to Sam and Georgie. With the Hollow taken from the Dixie Mafia and the gang driven out, and their territory handed to Cassandra, it's time for the next phase of Lincoln's plan. He has Cassandra on side. She is now an underboss. Lincoln goes to the motel and talks to Donovan. He offers Lincoln the choice of getting 2 more underbosses on his side, Vito Spalletta and Thomas Bird. Let's start with Vito. Vito has a couple of months after the heist. Whilst Lincoln is travelling to meet up with Vito, let's break for a second and have a look at what happened to Vito after he arrived in Newport. As we discussed, Vito annoyed the wrong people back in the way, but he was spared only due to his close friendship with the Vigilante, who had a lot to do with the city. Upon being sent to New Bordeaux, Vito was integrated as a lieutenant within the Marcano crime family at the instruction of the commission. Sal assigned him to Vito. Sal wasn't happy about it, took an instant dislike to Scaletta, but only accepted Vito into the family out of his huge respect for Vigilante. After Sal Marcano had gotten rid of Sammy and put the Dixie Mafia in charge of the Hollow, he turned his attention to Vito. Sal wanted to kill Vito, but as Vito is a made man, he can't. No one else that can. So Sal came up with a plan. He refused to pay Vito his share of the heist on believing that Vito had lost all of his money and life savings. Sal then installed his nephew, Michael Greco, as a way to show Vito's earnings. Now remember, Vito had to pay Sal kickback, and without regular money coming in from rackets, Vito was going to pay Sal. Sal did this.
Up, here he comes. He's right behind. Well, what they thought was going to happen. Oh, fuck.
Lincoln talks to Vito's guys that know their best. Vito joins the racket. Lincoln and Vito as he is signed by Greco. Problem is that Greco is in the crosshairs of Marcano after leaving the rackets that Lincoln has destroyed. Some of Marcano's guys turn up and try to stop Greco, but he slips away in Lincoln's car. Lincoln and Vito chase him and eventually capture him, taking him back to a warehouse. Lincoln willing to work on him exacting his revenge. With both Cassandra and Vito on side, it's time for Lincoln to go after the third boss. In the meantime, Sal Marcano takes the floor and finds out what the surprising news.
Take this.
Sal Marcano, but could never join the Mafia family, as he was Irish, not Italian. The difficult to monetize his territory was forcibly taken by Monster Sal Marcano and Roman the Butcher Barbieri after Bert botched the robbery of stolen car parts. Barbieri took him pointing a gun and permanently busted Bert's leg with a tire iron, forcing him to the limb. Bert helped with the house because he thought it might prompt Sal Marcano into doing him and the gun back. Bert is inebriated and doesn't want anything to do with the payback and what happened to his son. Lincoln takes Bert for a ride. Lincoln scares the crap out of him and Bert agrees to get on board. Lincoln later meets up with Bert at his place of business and tells him about Barbieri. Moving on, Barbieri runs the distillery, moonshine racket, and the slaughterhouse. After taking back both of the rackets and giving them back to Bert, Bert tries to take care of Bert. Lincoln takes him out and Bert grabs him off from retribution. Bert died, and his body wasn't found until the mid-1980s. Apparently there was no bone left in his legs. Ouch. Anyway, Bert agrees to help Lincoln go after Marcano. A sit-down is called at an old mansion in the bayou. The three underbosses are there, Sandra, Vito, and Berg. Naturally, there's a bit of tension. Lincoln calms them all down and reveals that they're going to take down Marcano's entire network. They'll go after his lieutenants first, then the Tacos, and then finally Marcano. Lincoln will then split out this. Donovan assesses the mobile tax sensor in the back of a Marcano liquor truck. And he's everything on Marcano as soon as possible. We'll go to the main story while Lincoln helps Donovan out with the
But okay, that's some mistake.
They have to find the barman named Salmana, but when they enter the restaurant, it's bloodbath. By Salmana, but he's scared. Salmana uses a high level Cuban revolutionary armed forces. In 1960, Navy found him black and white. He told the CIA everything he knew about
Take that back.
They couldn't find signs of interrogation, meaning that Alvin was there, trying to find out what Salmana knew. All of a sudden, someone runs out of the restaurant. Lincoln chases him down and takes him back to Donovan and Marshall. And Vegas guys reverse them. The man who got to the restaurant, Aldrich, was talking about a house. He was asking about a CIA safe house and talked about a plane. They arrive at the safe house, but it's been attacked. The safe house has a computer system, and whatever Aldrich wanted is on there, an area with the computers. They find Aldrich asking a man where the safe is. Aldrich finds what he was looking for and executes the man in front of Donovan and then leaves. A bunch of mercenaries turn up and try to kill Lincoln and Donovan, but they get out of it. Donovan is very nervous. Aldrich took a file containing some sensitive information. Donovan reveals that ever since Roberto mentioned the plane, Donovan knew what Aldrich was after: thermonuclear warheads. Lincoln and Donovan track down one of Balmana's crew, Ruben Paez, and he's a janitor at a department store. They get to Paez just in time, defending him from some more mercenaries. Paez was shot, but tells them that their crew was ordered to return the warheads, and that they took them to an airstrip on an island outside of Mexico City. Lincoln and Donovan arrive at the island, and after fighting their way through a load of mercenaries, they find a plane. There are no warheads at all, but a mercenary tells them that Aldrich has a contact in the NBA, a general who will pay big money for the warheads. More shooting, and after clearing even more mercenaries, they arrive at a facility. Fighting their way through the facility, they find Aldrich. They injure him and Donovan after a brief chat. takes
No
Aldrich out.
way. I said
They
bear.
secure the warhead, surviving an ambush in the process, and the chopper fixed it up. Lincoln and Donovan get back to work on the Marcano situation.
I was just talking the whole time while my shit was
Now,
moving.
with 3 of the Marcano family lieutenants, namely Giuseppe, Greco, and Barbieri, taken out, they need to go after the rest. One of the lieutenants they need to take out is a man named Frank Pagani. He's one of the lieutenants for Tommy Marcano. Frank uses a ship to smuggle things in and out of New Bordeaux. What's more is that Frank has been going to Cuba for the last 8 months, where Marcano ran some now shut down casinos and has been bringing back anything salvageable from those casinos for his new one. Frank's rackets are stolen vehicles and freight. After bugging Frank's car, Lincoln takes out both rackets and throws Frank out. After a high-speed chase, Frank concedes. Dying, Frank tells Lincoln that the real reason for the trips to Cuba was to bring in a man named Alvarez, a counterfeiter brought in specifically to make counterfeit cash. Frank then drops this bombshell.
They bring in a man named Alvarez. Counterfeiter who works for cash flow.
He give you the plates too?
Plate? What you know on account of robbery?
Marcano wanted the plates from the Federal Reserve.
Lincoln sees Donovan about Alvarez, and Donovan plays Lincoln a recording which basically says that Alvarez has bottled it and he wants to go back to Cuba. His uncle said he'd send a boat and for him to wait at the warehouse, but Alvarez's uncle and Sal Marcano go way back. So Alvarez's uncle sells him out. Lincoln manages to get to Alvarez, who tells Lincoln that the counterfeit money operation is set for a boxing gym that is owned by Tommy Marcano, one of Sal's capos and Sal's youngest brother. Lincoln rescues him, and after another shootout, Lincoln takes the man to Father James, locks the man up, and sorts him out with transport to a contact in New Mexico. It's now time for the second lieutenant to go. It's the turn of Tony D'Orazio. Meeting up with Donovan for the scoop on D'Orazio, he gives Lincoln the lowdown.
This part of town's run by a man named Tony D'Orazio. From what I was able to piece together, he's a real fucking weirdo.
Tony D'Orazio, it seems, never leaves the Royal Hotel, so Lincoln draws him out by taking out his rackets, a construction racket and a blackmail racket. Speaking to Donovan, word is that Tony D'Orazio has made a rare trip out of the hotel. He executed one of his guys who wasn't pulling his weight and put a guy who's predominantly in charge of recovering any overnight. He went through the lobby, which means a certain firefight, or he could steal Dominic's car and go and use it himself. Whatever he chooses, Lincoln makes his way to the hotel and confronts D'Orazio on the street. In line with Lincoln's MO of public killings, D'Orazio asks the window killing the public stop down to the street. Lincoln makes it back to the hotel. Lie down, after going through a man named Ed. Obviously, when the district has party now, the guard is practicing training for construction material of the South Casino. Get reservations about South Casino, district challenges can end up doing over everyone's house. Lincoln runs business and takes out one of his rackets, a gunman racket and garbage racket. Lincoln and Donovan call Monty and Lincoln on a deal. Tommy tells Lincoln to move to the quarry. Lincoln gets there and Lincoln ends up talking.
Doesn't own any of the land.
Nah, it all belongs to
No, you my friend too.
idiot.
Oh, I'm a bad
Long as
friend.
it's in his name, Sal can't touch it.
I didn't mean it.
And what
Well, I
followed?
did, but
He lives up in Fresco Fields. But from what I hear, Olivia Marcano is keeping close tabs on him. For a Sammy's is for his sole legitimate partner to get into trouble.
After their chat, Lincoln helps Enzo Conti get out of the quarry as Sal sends a load of his guys to take Enzo out. Lincoln then drops Enzo off at a hotel. With all the lieutenants now dealt with, it's time to go after Sal's capos. Now, as Enzo Conti mentioned, Olivia Marcano is protecting a man named Remy Duval, due to him being a legit businessman and owning the land Sal is building his casino on. Thing is, Remy is a white supremacist who is the leader of a racist faction called the Southern Union, although to the public, he denies his involvement with the group. Remy is letting his hatred get in the way of Marcano's ambitions, as despite Olivia warning Remy not to do anything stupid, he does it anyway. Lincoln finds out the location of Remy, who has gathered all of his Southern Union brothers and delivers a speech. Their plan was to burn the Delray Hollow to the ground as a message. Lincoln kills all the Southern Union members, well, the ones that didn't flee, and Lincoln takes Remy out. Lincoln executes Stephen DeGarmo, who was his nephew. Olivia says that 6 months prior, Remy revised the will, but it was never executed. All it needs is the signature of Stephen DeGarmo. They offer him a percentage of the profits if he signs over the land to them. After the death of poor old Remy, it's time for his wake. The wake was set up by Olivia Marcano. Lincoln disguises himself as a waiter, and Donovan, the scheming man he is, supplied Lincoln with LSD, the same stuff they used in MK Ultra, and Lincoln spiked the wine with LSD, so everyone at the wake was, well, high as a kite. With Olivia Marcano's security detail distracted, Lincoln confronts her. She's injured, and she confesses the location of DeGarmo. He's being persuaded to sign over the land in a building outside. Lincoln leaves her to die and goes to free DeGarmo and they escape. Not long after, Olivia survived her gunshot wound and was in hospital, so she didn't stay alive for long, as Georgie Marcano killed her. Sal, speaking to his brother Tommy about Alvarez, who has now disappeared, is furious and reprimands Tommy. He demands that Tommy go down to the boxing gym and protect the operation, which leads us to Lincoln going after capo number 2. Donovan had Lincoln track down a man named LC, a man who had double-crossed Sammy years back and who was thrown out of the Delray Hollow. Alcy has been recruiting fighters for Tommy's fighting racket. Lincoln says that if Alcy can get him into the gym, he'll work on letting him back into the Hollow again. They get in without an issue, with Alcy saying that Lincoln is there to fight. Lincoln wins a few fights and is declared a champion. He goes back to the locker room to collect his winnings, but Tommy Marcano is waiting for him with some of his guys. Lincoln is knocked out and Tommy is tied into some machinery and is pouring gasoline all over Lincoln. He says he mixed vegetable oil with the gasoline, which makes it thicker and stickier, making it all burn like napalm. But instead of getting on with it, Tommy wants to gloat, and this gives Lincoln the opportunity to break free and take out Tommy and his men. Breaks the South Soul, torches their counterfeiting equipment and leaves Tommy to burn. Lincoln then leaves after fighting his way out of the gym. Shortly after this, Sal Marcano is having a meeting with a man named Nino Santangelo, who produces heroin. Heroin is a Georgie Marcano wants to sell it. Sal though doesn't have heroin or dirt. Santangelo is there for his different reasons. With Sal's income through his flats and fights, Sal and Santangelo give him some money to buy the casino. Santangelo tells Sal that in exchange, he wants to be able to put heroin in or dirt in his life. Sal leaves. But Sal will always Santangelo. But it turned out that he was well Santangelo first. Anyway, one more capo left, and it's Sal's turn to lose. Marcano looks after a judge from the Fifth Circuit Court of Louisiana, and assets of the Marcano find back in the from Tony DeRazio's ledger, the Marcanos are paying Holden $10,000 a fine for Holden, now after realizing that Lincoln was going after everyone, Marcano was wrong.
Damn.
Told him that until Lincoln is taken care of, Sal's case on legalizing gambling is going absolutely nowhere. So naturally, Lincoln takes out Judge Holden. Even an armed escort and an armored vehicle can't protect him. After this, Sal is Detective Lou.
Okay, I was just a lot at once.
has shotgun guns using so reinforced structures around the boat for Lincoln again has got a great
Dang, I got caught in it.
Four moves and takes them to Oscar with explosive bursts. Four. Blue limps through the swamps when Lincoln catches up with him.
I got money. You can have it. Just don't kill me. I don't want your money. I want you.
Can't do anything. Yeah, I can't do anything there.
Whilst visiting Father James at his parish, Father James takes Lincoln to Sammy so he can possibly find some closure. See, while he was unconscious, Lincoln missed the funeral of Sammy and Ellis, so he never really got a chance to say goodbye. When they get to Sammy's, though, a girl called Anna runs out of the burnt remains of the bar. Three strange men walk outside. Lincoln kills them and checks on Anna. Father James, the man was running away and got shot after stabbing and mortally wounding another man. This seems to be a cult, and this man has got the same face paint and a strange tattoo. Lincoln goes to see Father James and Anna, and it turns out that it is indeed a cult that they are dealing with, and Anna is a part of the cult. Father James mentions the name Unsanglante. Lincoln remembers that Sammy used to tell him and Ellis stories about the Unsanglante to scare them. This cult are the Unsanglante, which is French for covered in blood. They practice human sacrifice. Their leader is a woman named Bonnie Harless. She recruited Anna to the cult whilst Anna was working a shift at a diner. Lincoln sets out to find Bonnie, who recruits people out of a nightclub downtown called Nuit Blanche. Lincoln gains entry to the club and follows the bouncer, Oscar, who doesn't like Bonnie and the cult at all. Bonnie is making a speech and Oscar says that Bonnie has her hooks into people. He explains that when he last saw Anna, he saw the cult taking her somewhere. After following Oscar, Lincoln enters the VIP area. He follows it through a strange series of tunnels to an indoctrination area, featuring some altars that show different locations in New Bordeaux. A storage warehouse, school, and a picture of a Confederate general named Braxton Mosby Harless, who had a huge house in Frisco Fields. Essentially, due to General Harless being a racist twat, in 1908, black residents of New Bordeaux had enough of being lynched and killed by the Unsanglante and set fire to the New Bordeaux Opera House with 100 of the wealthiest citizens inside it. The cult then went into hiding in the bayou for decades. Anyway, Lincoln, while attempting to leave, is surprised by Bonnie, who releases some sort of gas, which makes Lincoln trip out. As always, Lincoln has to fight his way out. He checks out all three locations from the altars, and he essentially finds out that the cult worships a deity named Père Sanglant, a horned winged creature which was allegedly discovered and encountered by Braxton Harless. They perform rituals in places they call places of darkness. The recent deaths of Sammy, Ellis, and Danny being assaulted by the cult's high priest. He impregnated Anna with what they viewed as the cult's future leader, the Blessed. Lincoln goes back to Anna and discovers that Father James was knocked unconscious by Anna and she's hiding in the bathroom. Father James had been going over some photos and something triggered Anna's memory. She remembered what the high priest did to her. She is in the bathroom with a knife. She tells Lincoln that the cult are holed up at the old sanatorium. Lincoln tries to reason with her, but to no avail. Anna ends her own life. Furious, Lincoln goes to the sanatorium to finish the cult off. He fights through them all and confronts Bonnie. She gloats that the Unsanglante will survive long past any of them. Lincoln breaks the news that Anna is dead, so their savior won't be born. Bonnie lunges at Lincoln enraged, but he stabs her and she dies. Good riddance. Lincoln arranges for Anna to be buried along with Sammy and Ellis. After this, he goes to pick up his Aunt Lily, and together they rebuild Sammy's again, along with having a launch party to celebrate. But back into the story again. Lincoln goes to see Donovan so they can make their final move. They're finally going after Marcano. Donovan is getting ready to burn everything, and he plays Lincoln a very cathartic recording.
Goddamn motherfucker. Jesus fucking Christ. We would not be in this fucking mess if you'd done what you were supposed to do. Good, yeah? I shot him right in the fucking head once! You shot him once! I didn't never shot the ass!
I mean, you should have.
nothing we can do. Call whatever that is, whatever. Me to start dancing.
Oh, I like to be choked, thanks.
So guess where Lincoln is.
Why are you choking me then?
He arrives at the casino and gets through what's left of Sal's men.
You were supposed to watch Jesus Vividly with me tonight.
Sweet
Are you right after this? Alright,
No,
after.
I don't want to hear it, bro. I really don't want to even hear it.
I.
Said you had beaten Ellis's back. This is just the night.
Battle!
Said no. Hold all of us. Never about us. Oh, man.
Oh, I was trying to avoid getting hit by everything. But nice strike. That was a smart idea.
Sal shoots himself, but the alternative is a lot cooler.
Oh, you can't fight now.
Braver. Lincoln leaves the casino where we meet an old friend again. He feels that he told Sal at a casino with anyone else who has anything to Sal and but it all ends here. He says that Lincoln will still need to get back 20% of those profits. So it's and the elite, but they recognize the driver. Out in the game, this is the competition with the best better.
That's the problem, is that you thought you could hang. Oop. Almost missed that hook and go. GG's. Oh Lord.
I still had a little pull back home. I kept some feelers out. And the word comes back, one of the guys